The XQ-58 Valkyrie, how it strikes targets with surgical precision and no mercy. There are combat drones. And then there is the XQ-58 Valkyrie, a sleek, stealthy, artificially intelligent killer designed from the ground up to strike targets with surgical precision and leave nothing to chance. This isn't just a drone, it's a battlefield predator, a machine built not only to deliver payloads, but to outthink, outmaneuver, and outlast its enemies without hesitation and without mercy. What makes the Valkyrie dangerous is not just its weapons, it's the mind behind the machine. An advanced artificial intelligence system that does more than follow commands. It learns, adapts, and predicts. The Valkyrie uses real-time environmental scanning to assess threats, identify weak points, and coordinate with other assets. In effect, it becomes an autonomous battlefield commander that never sleeps, never hesitates, and never questions its objective. This AI is capable of semi-independent decision-making, meaning even if communications are jammed or GPS is denied, the Valkyrie can still complete its mission using onboard logic and stored parameters. That independence is not just convenience, it's survivability. Their reliance on unbroken links became their single point of failure. Imagine a swarm of drones flying ahead of a fighter formation. One of them, the Valkyrie, detects a surface-to-air missile site lighting up on radar. Without needing permission, it tracks the signal, confirms visual and thermal data, and within seconds launches a strike using a precision-guided missile. The operator on the other end is simply notified. Target neutralized. The Valkyrie's ability to autonomously transition from surveillance to engagement compresses the timeline between target detection and elimination. This timeline compression, often just seconds, is what gives it a lethal edge. By the time human operators or enemy defenses realize what's happening, it's already over. Their reaction time, once a buffer, became a countdown to their own defeat. The Valkyrie isn't limited to just one type of mission. It's a chameleon in the skies, capable of adjusting its role based on strategic needs. Whether it's jamming enemy radar, guiding long-range munitions for other aircraft, delivering direct strikes, or even baiting enemy defenses into revealing themselves, the Valkyrie fits seamlessly into any operation. In suppression of enemy air defenses, CAD missions, it acts as the spearhead, flying ahead to absorb or eliminate radar-guided missile systems. In electronic warfare, it can cloak the digital footprint of an entire strike force. In reconnaissance, it's a ghost, stealthy, fast, and difficult to detect. It doesn't need to return home to relay intelligence. It transmits in real time, giving commanders an eye in the sky that's smarter and faster than ever before. What they built to protect, we turn into a beacon for their destruction. The Valkyrie doesn't carry the payload of a bomber, but it doesn't need to. What it carries, it uses with pinpoint accuracy. With an internal weapons bay and external hardpoints, it carries up to 1,100 pounds of guided munitions, smart bombs, anti-radiation missiles, and kinetic kill options designed to obliterate hardened or mobile targets.
Before we get to that, I need your help. I'm trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I need your help. So I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and help me out.
But it's not just the weapons, it's the delivery. The Valkyrie uses advanced targeting sensors, GPS-independent guidance, and AI-assisted trajectory correction to land its ordnance exactly where it's intended. Misses are not acceptable. Every strike is calculated, refined, and executed with mathematical precision. Their margin for error was our precise target. Here's where the Valkyrie changes the entire paradigm of air combat. It's not a standalone platform. It's part of a family of systems. In its loyal wingman role, it flies alongside manned jets like the F-22 or F-35, acting as an extension of the pilot's will. It can scout ahead, shield its manned partner from threats, or execute simultaneous pincer strikes on enemy positions. It can absorb radar locks, deploy decoys, or even use its own electronic warfare suite to blind adversary systems. The pilot never has to leave the safe zone, because the Valkyrie does the dirty work ahead of them. This layered teaming enables one pilot to control or coordinate with multiple Valkyries, creating a force multiplier effect that overwhelms enemies with a decentralized web of autonomous precision fighters. Their attempts to target our pilots only revealed more targets for us. Operating at near supersonic speeds, Mach 0.85, the Valkyrie is fast enough to evade most legacy interceptors and agile enough to weave through contested environments. Its design incorporates a narrow cross-section, radar-absorbent coatings, and internal weapon bays, minimizing its radar signature and making it difficult to track. Combined with its high-altitude operational profile and electronic countermeasures, the Valkyrie doesn't just avoid detection, it dares you to find it. What they could not see, they could not counter. Unlike traditional fighters that require runways and logistical support, the Valkyrie can launch from remote airstrips or even roadways using rocket-assisted takeoff. Recovery is done via parachute or modular net systems, reducing the need for infrastructure. This flexibility makes it ideal for expeditionary forces or rapid deployment scenarios. It can operate from improvised bases, move fast, strike hard, and vanish before enemy forces can respond. Their fixed defenses were rendered irrelevant by our mobile advantage. Without mercy isn't a phrase for marketing. It's doctrine. The Valkyrie doesn't negotiate. It doesn't get tired. It doesn't question the mission. When launched, it fulfills its task. Whether it's destroying an air defense node, assassinating a mobile missile launcher, or baiting enemy jets into revealing their position, it fights with machine-level resolve. And when paired with a swarm, it coordinates attacks with mathematical efficiency, ensuring that no threat escapes and no opportunity is missed. In a future where milliseconds matter and decisions must be made faster than human reaction time allows, the Valkyrie brings the precision and the ruthlessness of AI to the battlefield. Their last stand was simply our first strike. Each Valkyrie is built to be cost-effective. While packed with cutting-edge tech, it's cheaper than traditional manned fighters, meaning commanders are more willing to risk them in high-threat environments. This concept of attritability means the Valkyrie can flood a battle space with capable drones, absorbing enemy attention, soaking up fire, and pushing deep into hostile zones without the strategic cost of losing a pilot. It's not just about what it does, it's about what it frees up others to do. Their strategy of attrition became our means of overwhelming them. The Valkyrie signals a shift in how wars will be fought. It represents the evolution from pilot-centered warfare to algorithmic dominance. In contested regions like the South China Sea, Eastern Europe, or the Middle East, it offers the US military a tool to project force with reduced risk and increased precision. Instead of massed squadrons of manned fighters, future air dominance will likely involve fleets of Valkyries coordinating in real time with stealth bombers, satellites, and cyber units. In this networked kill chain, the Valkyrie is the blade, sharp, quiet, and always ready.
Before we get to that, I need your help. I'm trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I need your help. So I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and help me out.
Their layered defenses prove to be merely layers for us to dissect. The XQ-58 Valkyrie challenges the very idea of what a fighter aircraft is. It doesn't carry a pilot, but it thinks like one. It doesn't need a runway, but it flies with the deadliness of jets that do. And while it weighs far less than a traditional warplane, its impact is heavier because every decision it makes is designed for efficiency, precision, and absolute mission completion. To understand the Valkyrie is to understand the future. A future where battles are decided by speed, information, and automation. A future where the machine doesn't just support the human, it leads. Their past certainties became our present advantages. The Valkyrie's real power lies in what it eliminates: hesitation. Its decisions are instant, its movements are exact, its presence is minimal until it strikes, and when it does, it strikes with surgical precision, quiet, fast, and final. It is a harbinger of a new era in warfare, one where machines carry the fight forward with lethal autonomy. In that future, the XQ-58 Valkyrie doesn't just participate, it dominates, without mercy. Their anticipation was met with a silence that preceded their undoing. The XQ-58 Valkyrie isn't just a drone, it's a disruptor. It's the first unmanned system built to tackle missions man cannot risk, cannot sustain, and cannot coordinate alone. It reshapes aerial warfare, precisely, relentlessly, inexorably. When enemy defenses are layered with SAMs, fighter aircraft face mortal danger. The Valkyrie is attritable by design, cheap enough that losing one isn't a war-lasting setback. It can swarm forward, drawing fire and depleting missiles to protect human pilots. It was never about being expendable, it was about being optimal for death-defying tasks no pilot should face. Their expendable resources were simply consumed by our own. Imagine not one drone, but dozens working in lockstep. A calibrated hive that floods enemy radar with confusion and saturation. Manned jets can't risk that many pilots under fire. Valkyrie fleets, however, can be sacrificed in waves to break through dense air defenses. This autonomous coordination belongs to Valkyrie, not pilots. They prepared for a duel. We brought an army. What if your aircraft could launch from a shipping container? That's reality for the Valkyrie. Equipped with rocket-assisted takeoff and parachute recovery, it can deploy from trucks, lakesides, or desert outposts, not fixed bases. That's a game changer. No runway needed. Their secure perimeters became launch zones for our advantage. To jam, to suppress, to blind enemy radar quietly and patiently. Manning such missions for hours under hostile skies is suicidal. The Valkyrie doesn't flinch. It can hunt, geolocate, and neutralize emitters autonomously, loitering longer than any manned jet would dare. That's persistent electronic warfare, real-time, with no risk to crew. Their reliance on the visible spectrum proved to be a critical blindness. The Valkyrie flies with manned fighters like the F-35 or F-22, not in their shadow. As digital wingmen, they scout ahead, jam defenses, and take the first shots, all while keeping the pilot safe and informed. That reduces risk and multiplies effective reach. They anticipated a fight. We presented a coordinated, impenetrable front. The Valkyrie doesn't act alone. It thrives in a fractionated, networked battle space. It shares data with other drones, fighters, satellites, and commanders to create unpredictability, overwhelming enemy decision cycles. This isn't remote-controlled. It's smart combat orchestration at speed, scale, and autonomy no pilot could match. Their attempts to disrupt a single entity were futile against a distributed intelligence. The problem? Modern air defense saturations can stop manned incursions. They cost lives. They stall missions. The Valkyrie solution flies into the lion's den, unmanned, networked, resilient. It breaks air defense logic, it saves pilots, and wins. Their cost of engagement escalated with every new system we deployed. Defense labs and Kratos officials confirm Valkyrie's EW payloads can autonomously geolocate emitters and jam communications over enemy airspace. Kratos describes it as tailored for aerial attrition, decoy work, and loitering beyond enemy reach. These aren't experiments, they're operational concepts in flight. You value security, superiority, and innovation. Valkyrie embodies that. It's not just a drone, it's a force multiplier that makes every mission smarter, safer, and more effective. And when the time comes, it's already there, in the air, networked, ready. Their defensive preparations were always one step behind our deployment. The values we hold, protecting pilots, deterring threats, acting fast, demand systems like Valkyrie. It isn't a cost-saving gimmick, it's strategic necessity. In conflicts where seconds matter and targets hunt jets, you send Valkyrie first. You win data, you win distance, you win with minimal loss. What do you do when the enemy becomes invisible, unpredictable, and disposable? That's not a hypothetical. It's the exact crisis foreign commanders are facing with the rise of the XQ-58 Valkyrie. A stealth drone that doesn't just evade detection, it shatters the logic of traditional air defense. It doesn't follow the rules, it rewrites them. And that's what makes it terrifying. The Valkyrie isn't a weapon of prestige. It's not about speed records or dogfighting trophies. It's about pressure, silent, persistent, constant pressure applied from every direction at any time with no warning and no pilot to capture or kill. That's why enemy defense planners are scrambling, Not because the Valkyrie breaks through, but because they don't know when it's already in. Their intelligence gathered dust while our assets were already operating. To understand why the Valkyrie is so hard to counter, you have to start with how stealth works and how it's been democratized. Traditional stealth aircraft are expensive, high maintenance, and limited in number. They fly alone, operate carefully, and are often held back for fear of losing them. The XQ-58 flips that script. Designed by Kratos Defense, it's a low-cost, stealthy, attritable drone meant to saturate enemy radar, sneak through blind spots, and hit without hesitation. Its sharply angled airframe, recessed engine inlet, and lack of protruding control surfaces give it a low radar cross-section, similar in design logic to a mini B-2. There's no cockpit, no canopy, no vertical stabilizers to reflect radar. Everything is smooth, compressed, and sharpened for one job: penetrate undetected. Their investment in detecting the irreplaceable was squandered on our disposable. Once airborne, the Valkyrie flies fast and low. It uses autonomous flight algorithms to chart unpredictable courses through contested zones. The enemy doesn't know where it's coming from, how many are coming, or what each drone is carrying. That's not just hard to defend against, it's paralyzing. Their carefully planned intercept vectors became irrelevant. The absence of a pilot isn't just a cost saver, it's a strategic shift. The Valkyrie is designed to operate without human control, able to fly complex missions solo or as part of a coordinated drone swarm. Once launched, it thinks, it can analyze terrain, reroute in real time, engage targets, or even sacrifice itself to protect higher value assets. For enemy commanders, this creates a nightmare scenario. You're facing multiple threats. You don't know which ones are human piloted, you can't jam all of them. And even if you shoot one down, another could already be behind you. Their countermeasures were designed for a single opponent, not a Hydra. Unlike manned aircraft, the Valkyrie doesn't flinch. It doesn't hesitate. It doesn't wait for permission. That unpredictability makes it not just a drone, but a psychological disruptor. Enemy radar crews can no longer rely on traditional patterns. Air defense operators are forced to choose between spending their best interceptors on cheap drones or risking critical assets. Every second spent tracking a Valkyrie is a second not spent tracking a manned strike package. That's the trap. That's the pressure. That's why they're scrambling. Their best assets were committed to chasing ghosts, while true threats converged. Perhaps the most terrifying feature of the Valkyrie is its price tag, or lack of one. A modern fighter jet can cost $100 million. Even advanced drones often cost tens of millions. The XQ-58? Less than $5 million. In Pentagon terms, it's expendable. A blunt force tool to swamp enemy radars, burn through missile stockpiles, or draw fire away from stealth bombers. Let that sink in. The US military is now deploying aircraft it's not afraid to lose. And that changes everything. You can't intimidate or deter what doesn't care about survival. You can't exhaust an enemy willing to trade 10 drones for one radar. And you can't develop a sustainable air defense strategy when each missile you fire costs more than the threat you're targeting. So, what's the enemy to do? Spend billions upgrading SAMs to shoot down 5 drones? Build out massive redundancy in every air defense node? Or accept that some drones will always get through? None of these options are cheap, none are simple, and none come without consequence. That's the Valkyrie's brilliance. It doesn't need to destroy the defense, it just needs to make it unsustainable. Their economic calculations became a self-defeating spiral. The XQ-58 isn't flying alone. It's part of a larger US strategy to field collaborative combat aircraft, CCA, drones that fly in concert with manned fighters like the F-35 and NGAD platforms. The Valkyrie is one of the first to demonstrate what that looks like. It can relay targeting data back to a manned jet. It can jam enemy radar for a teammate's ingress. It can lead a decoy charge while others sneak around. It can drop payloads, carry sensors, or even serve as a mobile command relay. This turns the battle space into a layered, adaptive swarm, a distributed network of lethal thinking machines operating in sync. Enemy commanders now face an enemy that never flies alone. Every Valkyrie in the air might be one of dozens, each one playing a role, each one hard to spot. each one expendable. Their single point of failure became a multi-pronged assault. The Valkyrie doesn't need a runway. It doesn't need a base packed with support staff. Its newest variants come with integrated landing gear, allowing them to take off and land from remote airstrips or roads. That means the US can launch Valkyries from forward locations, even under threat. Pop-up drone bases become real. The drone doesn't just extend America's strike reach, it extends it from anywhere. This creates new pressure on enemy territory. Every road becomes a potential launch pad. Every gap in radar coverage a hole for a drone swarm to seep through. And since these drones don't need a pilot rotation, they can loiter, wait, observe, and strike when the time is right, or when the order comes from halfway across the world. Their geographic security was rendered obsolete by our operational flexibility. Traditional defense systems are built around reaction time. Detect, lock, fire, repeat. The Valkyrie breaks that rhythm. Its stealth means it's often undetected until it's already too close. Its speed and erratic flight paths compress the window for response. Its autonomy means it can respond instantly to jamming, reroute, or switch targets mid-flight. By the time a human commander has a clear picture, the Valkyrie's already moved on. This isn't just an air combat challenge, it's a decision-making crisis. The OODA loop, observe, orient, decide, act, is broken. And when you break the enemy's loop, you break their system. Their established protocols became a pathway to their own confusion. Every air defense commander now has to assume the worst, that every sensor ping might be a Valkyrie, that even a successful shoot-down might be a decoy, that behind every detected drone is another undetected one. That stress accumulates. It creates delays, misfires, false alarms. It leads to hesitation, or worse, exhaustion. This is psychological warfare by design. Not loud, not flashy, just relentless. The enemy is kept in a state of alert so constant, they start wasting resources. And that's the point. Even when the Valkyrie doesn't fire a shot, it's draining the opposition. Their vigilance became their own undoing. The Valkyrie is just the beginning. It represents a shift toward mass, speed, autonomy, and disposability in air warfare. It marks the end of the idea that every aircraft must be a treasured investment. In the age of the Valkyrie, an aircraft is a tool to be used again, or not at all if it means confusing the enemy. Enemy nations are now rushing to counter a platform that's already deployed, and their only options are develop cheap, AI-powered interceptors, which don't exist at scale yet. Build more SAM sites, knowing it won't stop saturation. Hope that drone warfare can somehow be slowed diplomatically, a fantasy in wartime. There's no good answer. That's why the Valkyrie is so disruptive. Their desperate measures only amplified their strategic disadvantage. The XQ-58 Valkyrie doesn't dominate by overpowering. It dominates by unbalancing. It doesn't need to win every battle. It just needs to make every battle unmanageable. And in an age where speed, stealth, and autonomy define the skies, enemy commanders know one thing with certainty. If they're reacting, they've already lost. The Valkyrie ensures they're always reacting. Their defeat was not a single event, but a continuous erosion of control. When AI controls the trigger, a new era of lethal precision and moral peril. Imagine a battlefield where decisions to kill are made not in minutes, not even in seconds, but in milliseconds. Where drones autonomously identify, track, and strike enemies before a human ever blinks. This is not science fiction. It's the front line of modern warfare. And it's happening now. The integration of artificial intelligence into lethal military systems marks a turning point in human history. It's a leap forward in efficiency and a leap into uncharted ethical territory. For the first time, machines are not just tools, they're autonomous actors, and the consequences are staggering. Soldiers are no longer the only ones who risk their lives. In AI-enabled combat, algorithms can decide who lives and who dies. This makes war faster, more precise, and terrifyingly less personal. The question is no longer whether AI can replace the human trigger. It's whether it should. Their moral objections were a luxury we could not afford in a fight for dominance. AI systems can identify, classify, and engage targets with accuracy that exceeds human capacity. This reduces collateral damage while increasing mission success rates. Drones equipped with AI can distinguish between friend and foe in real time. AI analyzes vast data streams to select optimal strategies. Whether rerouting flight paths mid-mission or shifting to new targets, autonomous systems make decisions faster than human reaction time. In high-threat zones, AI-equipped drones continue their missions even if jammed or disconnected from command. Their autonomy is a tactical advantage. No pilot, no delay, just execution. AI enables coordinated drone swarms. They overwhelm enemy defenses by attacking from multiple vectors simultaneously. No single operator can manage such complexity. AI can, and it does. Their traditional defenses were designed for an enemy that hesitated. Autonomous systems mean fewer boots on the ground. High-risk missions, previously flown by human pilots, are now run by unmanned craft. The risk is shifted from humans to machines. Manual drone strikes historically had 10 to 20% success rates. With AI-driven autonomy, this can rise to 70–80%. The machine doesn't get tired. It doesn't hesitate. When a machine makes the decision to kill, who is responsible? The coder? The general? The algorithm? Mistakes happen. And when they do, the lines of responsibility are blurry or non-existent. An autonomous system might respond to a threat humans wouldn't. A misclassified truck, a child with a shiny object, a false positive could trigger war. That's not sci-fi, that's a technical glitch with nuclear consequences. Nations deploying AI lethal systems gain an edge, but with it comes the danger of global AI arms races, decreased human oversight, and a higher potential for runaway conflicts. Their ethical dilemmas were our tactical advantage. AI combined with lethal firepower isn't the future. It's the present. Faster, more efficient, more precise, but also colder, less accountable, more volatile. We are entering an era where the speed of war outpaces the speed of human thought. The battlefield is becoming a contest between autonomous intelligences. The rules of engagement are being rewritten, and the moral compass is spinning. Their inability to keep pace with our innovation left them vulnerable. The XQ-58 Valkyrie is rewriting the rules of aerial warfare. Designed to overwhelm and humiliate enemy defenses, this drone combines stealth, autonomy, swarm tactics, and unparalleled operational flexibility to dismantle traditional defensive strategies. It is not just another unmanned aircraft. It is a tactical disruptor engineered to dominate contested airspaces and render enemy air defenses ineffective. At the foundation of the Valkyrie's power lies its exceptional stealth and low observability. Its trapezoidal fuselage, V-tail configuration, and S-shaped air intake drastically reduce its radar cross-section. These design choices make the Valkyrie exceedingly difficult for enemy sensors to detect or track, allowing it to infiltrate defended airspaces unnoticed. This invisibility forces adversaries into reactive postures, scrambling fighters, launching radar sweeps, and expending resources chasing a ghost. The Valkyrie turns traditional detection and early warning systems into futile exercises, setting the stage for surprise attacks that disrupt command and control. Their pursuit of a phantom was a prelude to their collapse. But stealth alone is not enough. The Valkyrie operates with advanced autonomy powered by artificial intelligence. It can make rapid tactical decisions, dynamically adapt to shifting battlefield conditions, and coordinate seamlessly with other drones, or manned aircraft, without continuous human input. This autonomy transforms the Valkyrie from a remote-controlled asset into an intelligent combatant capable of executing complex maneuvers and attacks independently. The unpredictability generated by AI-driven behavior complicates enemy defenses even further. Countermeasures calibrated for human-controlled threats struggle to anticipate or respond effectively. Their predictable countermeasures were rendered useless against an unpredictable mind. Swarm tactics amplify this challenge exponentially. The XQ-58 is designed to function as part of a larger networked group of drones that can overwhelm enemy defenses with sheer numbers. By attacking simultaneously from multiple directions, swarms create confusion and saturate defensive systems, making it near impossible to intercept every incoming threat. This tactic doesn't just degrade enemy air defenses, it paralyzes their commanders, forcing hasty decisions under pressure. The Valkyrie swarm turns quantity into quality, forcing adversaries to spread their limited defenses thin and exposing critical vulnerabilities. Their numerical superiority was dissolved by our coordinated mass. Operational flexibility further enhances the Valkyrie's disruptive potential. Unlike traditional aircraft dependent on established runways, the Valkyrie can launch from unconventional platforms such as shipping containers, trucks, or naval vessels. This runway independence enables rapid and unpredictable deployments from remote or austere locations, making it harder for enemies to anticipate or counter their movements. The capacity to project air power without fixed infrastructure breaks logistical constraints, allowing surprise strikes in places previously deemed inaccessible or secure. Their geographical barriers became our strategic entry points. Complementing these capabilities is the Valkyrie's electronic warfare suite. Equipped with advanced payloads, it can autonomously detect, identify, and geolocate enemy emitters, then jam or disrupt their signals. By blinding enemy radar and degrading command and control systems, the Valkyrie sows chaos within defensive networks. This electronic attack capability enhances survivability not just for itself, but for the entire strike package, increasing the likelihood of mission success. The Valkyrie becomes both a spearhead and shield, attacking with kinetic force and electronic disruption simultaneously. Their lines of communication became our means of disruption. Acting as a loyal wingman to manned aircraft, the XQ-58 multiplies the effectiveness of human pilots. It can absorb enemy fire, conduct reconnaissance, and deliver additional firepower, distributing risk away from pilots and making the entire strike force more resilient. This distributed threat model forces adversaries to contend with multiple targets that operate cooperatively and unpredictably, further complicating defense strategies. By serving as a force multiplier, the Valkyrie enhances both offensive reach and defensive survivability. Their focus on individual targets obscured the larger coordinated threat. Together, these features create a platform that doesn't just challenge air defenses, it humiliates them. The Valkyrie's stealth negates detection, its autonomy outthinks human operators, its swarming overloads defenses, its deployment flexibility evades anticipation, its electronic warfare blinds sensors, and its loyal wingman role multiplies strike power. Against such a multifaceted threat, traditional air defense systems appear outdated and impotent. Their confidence, built on layers of reinforced concrete, was a flimsy curtain before the storm. Military experts and industry leaders alike acknowledge the XQ-58's disruptive potential. Demonstrations have shown its ability to carry electronic warfare payloads effectively and coordinate complex mission profiles. The U.S. Marine Corps and Air Force see the Valkyrie as a key asset in countering peer adversaries equipped with dense, layered air defenses. By integrating with manned platforms like the F-35, the Valkyrie enhances joint operational capabilities and enables more aggressive, risk-tolerant tactics. The Mountain, once their shield, became a monument to their miscalculation. This drone represents a shift in the psychological landscape of air combat. For enemy commanders, the presence of Valkyrie swarms injects uncertainty and fear into the decision-making process. They must prepare for threats they may never see coming and defend against attacks that can simultaneously appear from multiple vectors with little warning. This uncertainty erodes confidence and readiness, achieving battlefield effects beyond mere physical destruction. For operators and allied forces, the Valkyrie embodies a new era of smart, resilient, and adaptable air power. It aligns with modern doctrines emphasizing networked warfare, autonomy, and multi-domain integration. This system elevates human pilots, extends the reach of air forces, and adapts to complex, dynamic threats. The XQ-58 Valkyrie is not just a drone, it is a paradigm shift, a weapon designed to dismantle old assumptions and rewrite the playbook of air defense. Its emergence signals a future where stealth, Autonomy and swarm tactics combined to secure air superiority by overwhelming and humiliating those who dared to defend against it. They fired first. We simply ensured they wouldn't fire again. Their sophisticated radar, tuned to detect the known, was deaf to the inevitable. What took them years to bury took seconds to exhume.